Okay, I noticed that some game makers wanted to have a scrolling background in their game, and so we're gonna add that. And what you're gonna do is in Photoshop, you'll go File, New, and create a document that's 360 by 720 pixels. Make sure you pick pixels, okay? And then when you create it, you can make your background look however you want. I spent a lot of time, putting all these like little stars and stuff on here and multiple layers, and I kept merging them down. I had a lot more layers than this to begin with. And then you go File, Export, and then you export it as a PNG, and I put it into a folder, the same folder that we used in the last tutorial. Now in Animate, we are going to create a new movie clip in the library. Make sure you have this library open, and you're going to hit this little plus sign down here, and we're going to call it background. You have to spell it exactly correct to make sure that the code that is provided to you works. When you start writing your own code, you can call things whatever you want, and and it'll be up to you what you name things. So you're going to say background, and then you click this export for ActionScript, and then your class will say that it's called background. You can hit OK. A window's going to pop up. You hit OK again, and now you're inside editing this background movie clip. And I'm going to simply go to the Finder and drag my background PNG that I made. Now you'll notice that there's a plus sign inside this white area, and that is exactly the point. I got lucky, I guess. And the image got right exactly on that plus sign in the top left corner, and we want to do that because when the code is going to look for this plus sign is kind of like its x and y coordinate. It's at 0, 0. So the code's going to say place this on the screen, paste this object on using that coordinate. Okay, so I'm going to hit back, and by the way, in the library, you could see that you made this little linkage thing or not. And then I'm going to need to rewrite, I'm going to copy and paste over this code. So I'm going to select the layer with my code, my ActionScript, and I'm going to go Window Actions. We're basically going to replace all this. I can go Command A and delete. And then we wrote a new code snippet. Where do we have that? We have it not, this is Photoshop. Let me move Photoshop out of the way. And I put it, nope, not there. I put it here. Here we go. Here is that was, I was getting some space background info. You could see what I was using there to get ideas for the background that we created for this game. And here we're going to go Command A and Command C to copy. We're going to copy all this, and we are going to then go back into Animate, and we're going to click in this frame right here, and we're going to paste. Okay, now you have to save, I believe. So Command S, I'm going to save this. And whenever you make a change, it would be like a little star right there, a little asterisk. And then when you save, it goes away. So now let's move this actions window, and you can see there's a lowercase a in this frame. Okay, there's a lowercase a in the frame, and that means that there's ActionScript code in there. And so now we're going to go Control Test. And if everything's working correctly, you have a scrolling background now. Okay, and then click on here, and we could now shoot with the space bar. And the code basically, let's see if I could stretch this out and see what's going on back here. Okay, so it basically, what the code did is I'm going to give you a demonstration, and then I'll delete this stuff. Let me zoom out. This is what the code did. It takes this background movie clip, and it stacks one right here, and then it stacked another one above it, like this. And then the code just tells it to move down, and whenever one of them gets past the bottom, it just loops back to the top. That's what the code's doing. Okay, so eventually you'll write that code loop yourself, and then they just move down the screen like that. Okay, so we don't want those on screen. We'll go one more time, Control Test, just to see how it works. Click, and there we have it. We have a scrolling background now. Okay, and you're going to want to make sure that you pick the color of your scrolling background to look however you want. Like, let's just say if that was too dark, you could lighten it up. Maybe you come in here and you know, you can lighten things up a lot of different ways. Let me see, give one quick example. I'll hit the plus sign here, so make a new layer, and I'll just dump white paint bucket on top of the entire layer. Maybe set the opacity to like 30% so you can kind of see through it, and it's already brightened up. And you could play with these like normal and like lighten, and you could play with these different settings like overlay. If you turn it off and on, if that even did anything. Yeah, if I go overlay, that just gives it a different effect than just, you know, and then if let's just say, let's just go back to normal, and let's just see what it looked like with this like white down to say like 22. And then maybe this is terrible. Let's see, go file, export. We're gonna export that quick PNG again into this background. Gonna hit save. I'll replace it. I have a feeling I'm gonna revert back to that. But then when I put the, I'm gonna go double click background here, and when I'm gonna drag this image in here, and let's see if I could just say replace. I'm gonna say replace, and then so I don't have another background in there. Just go replace, and then there you go. That's what it looks like. It's a little brighter or lighter, and like I said, I'm doing a quick tutorial, so I'm not spending as much time as I would to make it really good. But I just wanted to show you how you can change colors and stuff, and definitely we're gonna have to mess with that. I don't really like this color, but anyway, you see how it works. Okay, so make your scrolling background and have fun. Have fun.